the Mesa Boogie Mark II C Plus. Who did it better, Amplitube or Neural DSP? And what Helanza sing now? We break it down, baby. You saw this coming. Alright, we've checked a lot of Neural DSP and a lot of Amplitube, but it's not every day that we get to shit them out. Alright, so let's go to Pro Tools. First right here we have the Neural DSP version, which dropped maybe last year. And then we have the Amplitube counterpart, which I don't know why they have like different skins, because even like the 2C++ doesn't look like that. But I've seen the Amplitube version in real life, so I know that there's one that looks exactly like that. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna check out is how they sound in their default mode, basically. Okay, so let's stop talking and get to the rocking and start riffing out. Today we're gonna be using my PRS SE Custom 2408. I just love this guitar. It's just that I'm so lazy and I love to have humbucker sound and single coil sound-ish
in one guitar.
Alright, let's start with the older version, which would be the Amplitube right here. And basically this is the default patch in Amplitube. I just went and select the amplifier and then just chose the Mark II C+. Alright, let's see what happens. Open E, bridge pickup, humbucker tone. Now let's check the Neural DSP, same thing. So right out of the bat, there's a lot of difference. But go really quick to the comment section and let me know what you thought about that particular example, just like fresh. What do you think about the two default states of the amp? Because instantly I felt like the Neural DSP has something that makes me feel that it has like a more synthetic sound that I was hearing with the Amplitube, right? Other than the fact that the Amplitube version is like a lot quieter than the Neural DSP. Okay, back to Neural DSP. Right, now let's just listen to like back and forth really quickly. I don't know, like I feel like that Neural DSP has like a really nice mid-range. But again, that could be like the volume just tricking me out. Let's see what happens here. Where are we? Let's see if I just adjust the output a little bit, because it feels to me like I'm at least like 3 dB louder on the Neural DSP. You know what I mean? Like now that they're both at the same level, there's a big difference in the tone. I feel like a lot of it is the gate in the Neural DSP, which is the perfect segue to the next section of this video, which is how much can we match the sounds? Because I mean, they're supposed to be the same amp, and if they both try to recreate the amp faithfully, I assume they have to sound sort of similar, right? And so far they don't. So let's see what happens if we try to match all these things. Whatever Neural DSP is doing
to the Amplitube version. So
I don't know. I kind of feel like this is going to sound absolutely crazy. Let me know in the comment section what you think right now. I wish this was live so I could see what you guys are thinking. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to go live soon and do this kind of videos. Would this be good content to do live, or is this like totally out of bounds? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. All right, let's keep trying to match these things. This is definitely not scientific, but you know, I'm just trying to approximate what I'm looking at there. Yeah, absolutely nuts. There's nothing like it. Yeah, it sounds absolutely nothing like it. It was closer when it was like on the default setting, right? So why don't we just go back to whatever default was? Okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say that it's almost impossible to match them. At least if we are like looking at the numbers and what the knobs are saying. Now let's try to do it a little bit more like by ear. But for this, I'm going to have to put a little riff down because if not, I will never be able to recreate the same punch and the same everything, right? So let's just try to do it really quick. A simple riff, as simple as it can get. All right, now let me put the guitar down so I can focus on the sound. Okay, so now that we have that recorded, let me close these guys really quick and select like a nice little loop. Okay, now that I have a sensible loop, let's see what happens here. Now we have the same music going in both. There's a sense of weight that the Neural DSP has that I feel maybe it's here. Not even close. Like there's like almost nothing that I can do because I hear kind of like what the differences are, but every knob that I pull and everything that I move doesn't do anything like what I'm hearing. Like I feel like even like the frequencies are not where they are supposed to be in one or the other. Like let's say, just like as a test, if I were to, whatever we have right here, just hear this. Nowhere near the same frequencies, like at all. Even though they say that it's 6,000 or whatever it says right there. So to me, it's like evident that they are not going to sound the same if the knobs are not even doing the same thing that they say they're doing, right? And then there's the argument that maybe the gain structure is different or whatever you want to call it. I feel like if they're like the same amp, let's say they did whatever they did, I feel like the input section would have been the same because there's the same amps. You know what I mean? But in this case, definitely it's not. Oh, wow. Right now, maybe that's the difference because I do remember that these guys, yes, they have it in the simulation one. Okay, let's try to match the backs now. There's zero reverb. Presence, it's like around halfway. I would say kind of halfway. Okay, now that these two are matched a little bit better, let's hear it again. Oh, that kind of changes the whole thing. No wonder. Wow, I was like a little bit surprised. I was like a little bit surprised to the fact that they sounded so different. I was really worried. I was just like, it's like nothing feels the same. Like it feels like I'm not even hitting like the same amp at all. But now, let's try to take this guy back down to 0 and see what happens. Now that we have that key element matched, let's see what happens if we try to match the settings. I feel like so dumb right now. But you know, how are we going to find out all these things if we don't even try? So that's what we were doing. We were trying. And while I'm trying to figure all these things out, why don't you go like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube. And enjoy the little bossa nova. How's your day going? Are you feeling okay? All right, thank you so much. Let's keep going. All right, so like visually right now, they are pretty much the same. Let's see how they sound. Like literally nothing similar. Like there's nothing, like you would tell me that those are different amps, I'll believe you. I would say, yep, they sound like different amps. All right, let's take into account this big difference in volume that we have. Again, let's take it back to 2.3. Like not at all. Not at all, not at all, not at all, not at all, not at all. That sounds nothing like the same thing. Not at all. Not one bit. And then like my third part that was going to be, if they were similar, do they even cancel each other out? But they're so different that I already know this makes no sense. So let's just go to the next step. Do I really like it? And this would be like a very, very, very tough call because, you know, they both sound good. I feel like the Neural DSP is doing like a very tight sound amp, but I feel like the Amplitube sounds a little bit more open. But I feel like Amplitube has a little bit more the sound that I particularly like. It feels to me like it's a little bit more open. And in my opinion and in my experience, I've had a little bit of a harder time when I use tones that are not like way open. Every time I put myself in that corner that I'm like, okay,
the guitars are mid-range, so we need to make sure that they're in the mid-range.
I end up with a mix that I don't like. And I feel like this kind of guitar tone, even though you would think that they have similar mid-ranges and like the saturation that's happening in the mid, it's a little bit of sort of like the same. It really is not. And the fact that the Amplitube has a little bit of like a less crowded mid-range, I feel like it's going to sound better in a song. So let's just go hear a few conclusions and see what's up. Right? Neural DSP and Amplitube. They're both doing the same amp. They both sound very different. Honestly, I do like them both. I feel like they both have a great sound. They both feel really good when you're playing. I have no problem with any of them. If you have the Neural DSP, you have a great sounding amp. And if you have the Amplitube, I don't feel like you need to get the Neural DSP unless you like the Neural DSP or what it has to bring to the table, which is like that sort of like more saturated mid-range, a little bit fuller in the mid-range if you want to say. So maybe for certain cases, it's a better sounding amp. And for some other cases, I give the edge to the Amplitube one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But if you want to discover the Neural DSP version a little bit better, go check this video right here. Go for it. I'll wait for you right there. Have a great day, my friend. Thank you for being here again.